call. And with that, we're going to go to Congresswoman Michele Bachmann. Go ahead, Congresswoman.
Hi, everyone. This is Michele Bachmann. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Go ahead, Michele.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone being on this call tonight, for Tea Party Patriots, for Jenny Beth. Today really was momentous. This was a page out of American history today, because we change forever based upon the Supreme Court decision. But I want you to know, too, when I left the Supreme Court chamber, I walked down the front steps of the Supreme Court. At the base of those steps were the Tea Party Patriots. They were standing there. They were the only ones that gave a response to the media immediately in real time in front of the Supreme Court. The reason why I say that is not just to praise Tea Party Patriots, but to say the energy and the effort to repeal Obamacare has now devolved to us, to the American people, but it really is to the Tea Party. Because this issue of Obamacare, the government takeover of health care, absolutely inflamed the American people. Remember August of 2009, all of the town hall meetings across the country where you all stood up. This was what galvanized America. It was this decision, and it was the energy of the Tea Party that delivered the fruit of taking the gavel out of Nancy Pelosi's hand and slamming the brakes on Barack Obama's out-of-control socialist agenda. The Tea Party stopped it. The Tea Party was powerful. That's why the media can't do enough to lie about the Tea Party. Well, I'm here to say the ones that were there today before anyone else were the Tea Party. The Tea Party first, the Tea Party always, the Tea Party last. And it's the Tea Party that will be the energy behind delivering the victory in November. Now, this is it. I've said it before. When I ran for president, I said, this is it. We have one chance, 2012, to be able to repeal Obamacare. It would have been wonderful if they would have struck it down today. It would have been absolutely wonderful. We still would have had to have had a powerful election. But now our job has become much harder. Now we have to win it all. We don't have a choice. We have to win the presidency. We have to win the Senate. We have to win the House. I know a lot of people are disappointed in the House of Representatives that they haven't done what we thought a lot of Tea Partiers should do. But recognize this. We have to deal with the hand that's been dealt with us, and we only have one chance, because without a doubt, Barack Obama will keep socialism and the government takeover of health care. Mitt Romney will not. He's told me to my face, eyeball to eyeball, Michele, I will not repeal Obamacare. You all know me. There is no way, when I left running for President of the United States, there is no way that I would have gotten behind Mitt Romney if he wouldn't have been anything other than sincere on getting rid of Obamacare. He may not be everything that we wanted in a nominee, but for my money, this is the only chance we have to get rid of Obamacare, is getting behind Mitt Romney and getting behind a Republican Senate. This is not going to be perfect, and I'm not going to tell you it will be, because it won't. But right now, for the sake of our current generation, to even try to hold on to our country, this is severe. We've got to do this. Here's the practical effect. The practical effect of this decision is that a black cloud is going to hang over any hope of economic recovery between now and November. We just aren't going to see new jobs. We aren't going to see the economy turn around, because now employers are going to make a decision. I'm an employer. I know exactly what's happening with job creators across America tonight. They're saying, they're calling up their boards of directors, they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders, and they're going to say this: well, we know how expensive it's going to be now to try and have our business in America. You're going to see a lot of businesses, millions of them, move offshore and move production out of the country. Millions of jobs are going to be lost because of this decision. That's the bad news. And we're going to see millions of employers say, we can't afford to offer health insurance to our employees anymore, and they're going to pull it. And so millions of Americans now are going to lose their health insurance. And they're either going to pay the fine, or they're going to have to buy their own very expensive private health care insurance. This is a terrible story. It's terrible. But the good news is we have the best straw left standing. That's us. That's our government. That's what we stand for with our principles. The Tea Party did it before in 2010. The Tea Party has to deliver now in 2012. I don't trust the establishment to do it. I trust the Tea Party. And so we have got to give money. We've got to give time. We are the grassroots. And so really it's about election by election. I'm not trying to overwhelm anyone right now. It's as simple as making sure on your watch, in your backyard, your member of Congress, if it's a Republican, gets elected. The fact that we elect somebody who's a Republican to the U.S. Senate and we elect Mitt Romney. Again, I'm not saying these people are perfect. They aren't. But we have got to get behind them because we simply can't let Barack Obama's health care plan live because this is it. We have one chance. This bill goes fully into effect in 2014. Once that happens, it's over. That's it. We will never get rid of it. Jim DeMint and I put a letter together today, together with Jim Jordan and other members of the House of Representatives. We've got a good list going, and we're sending this letter out to every governor and every state legislature. This is something you can help with, too. We're telling every governor and every state legislature, do not put into place the health exchanges in your state, because they have nothing to do with your state. All they are is the money collectors for the federal government and the data collectors for the federal government. This is the untold story that people don't realize. Doctors now in the future will get the symptoms from a patient, they'll put them into a computer, and the government will tell the doctor what the remedy is. Well, guess what? You know what factors are included that the federal government weighs in on? How old are you? What's your lifestyle? What's your health history? And the doctor will see a reduction in his pay if he gives a different solution than what the government says. So you see where I'm going with all this? If you're over a certain age, you're not going to get the same level of care. If you're very young, you're not going to get the same level of care. But if you're useful to government, then you'll get a level of care, because now we have politically correct health care. This is everything. This is our religious liberties. This is our economic liberty. This is our personal liberty, all wrapped up in one. And it's the Tea Party that I'm turning to win this thing, and nobody else. And so this is our chance. This is our moment. Be encouraged. We did it in the last election. We did it. We pulled the gavel out of Nancy Pelosi's hand. Nobody thought we could. We can do this with Barack Obama.
We have her down the line. Nope, but we can still read the question. Go ahead and read the question if we could.
She wanted to know how possible is it to get to the Senate majority, and she said that she is from Venezuela originally. She hates dictatorships, and she's very, very concerned about America.
Well, she should be, because that's where we're headed in the United States. That's not an overstatement, because we're not electing a president anymore. Now we're electing a healthcare dictator who can even take away our religious liberties from us if he so chooses. That's why this is so important. Can we get to the Senate majority? You bet we can. We're about 3 or 4 votes away from that Senate majority now. And don't let anyone lie to you and tell you that we need to have 60 votes to overturn Obamacare in the Senate. Wolf Blitzer tried to say that to me today on CNN. It is not true. I am here to tell you we only need 50 votes plus 1 in the United States Senate. Why? Because we had 60 votes the first time when Obamacare went through the Senate. But then remember, Ted Kennedy died, and there was an election, and Scott Brown won that seat. Well, all of a sudden, the Democrats lost that 50th vote, so they got the bill through on something they called reconciliation. It was 50 votes plus the vice president, and they got it through. So we Republicans need to not be intimidated and say we are going to also pass the repeal of Obamacare on a 51 vote. We can win these seats this fall. We've got to build up a head of steam. We've got to defeat Obama, but we can win these seats because we'll have a Republican vice president. Even if we have 50 in the Senate, we would have another vote that the vice president could cast, and then we could get rid of it.
Okay.
That's assuming there's a tie.
It's very, very possible and very doable, and I think because of what the Supreme Court did today, it's more within our reach because of
That's right. Fire up, and I am giving a challenge everywhere I go. I'm challenging everyone. This is important. I mean, the country goes on or it doesn't based on this election, because the data tells us right now Medicare is dead flat broke. Sometime in the next 8 years, it's done. It's broke. And I believe that the nation has somewhere between 6 and 8 years. The current debt accumulation that we're doing, we've got about 6 to 8 years, because even our own government tells us that 15 years from now, in 2027, this is before Obamacare is even added in 15 years, our economy shuts down from debt accumulation. I mean, shuts down. This is what the government's telling us. Well, it isn't that we just keep chugging along like today, and all of a sudden the economy ends. We're going to see a steep dive, and that is going to come within 6 to 8 years. Now we have Obamacare, made constitutional by this court. If we don't change things by this election, it is my opinion that the next election, 2016, is going to be of little consequence. This is the one where we can turn the ship. It's like the Titanic. There is very, very little time to turn that ship. We have very, very little time. And so I'm challenging everyone to bring 12 new people to the polls. 12 people. You've got from now until November to convince 12 new people, not people that were going to vote Republican anyway, 12 new people. Now, if that seems overwhelming to you, then I'm saying pledge to bring 5 new people to the polls. You probably have people in your family that don't even vote, or people you go to church with, or your next door neighbor, or your kids. 5 people. That's what we've got to do at minimum. And that's our legacy to the next generation. These next few months, I wish the job was going to be easier. I wish I could promise it will be. But we've got a couple of months to save our republic, and it's up to us. It's the Tea Party who did it before. It's the Tea Party that's going to do it again. And remember, there's only one organization that was at the foot of the Supreme Court today. Tea Party Patriots. That was it. There was no leader of the House of the Republicans or leader of the Senate of the Republicans. No, there wasn't a Republican presidential candidate down there today. It was the Tea Party Patriots. And so we need this organization. That's why I thank you for being on the call and being as generous as you can tonight. We have got to turn this around, and it's going to begin with us.
It is going to begin with us. And Michele, the thing that gives me hope and gives me the ability to keep going and keep fighting like I've been doing is that I know that I'm not alone in this. We've got patriots all over this country. I've only been home in the past 6 weeks for 72 hours, and I am going to do whatever it takes in the next 4 months to make sure that we make the right decisions and to do everything in my power to help patriots all over this country. And we have a support staff, a support team who are willing to do the same thing. Kelly Carrender from Seattle, Washington, who is out there today.
She's great. She is marvelous.
And she's only been home for about 3 days in the past 6 weeks as well. And we're not going to stop. And everyone who pushes 7 and makes a donation, I can assure you we are all fighting. We're fighting 24 hours a day. We stay up late into the night, get up early, because we understand what's at stake. And we don't have much time. We have to make a difference.
That's right. That's right. There's very, very little time. And that's why I know people are weary. It's summer. Everyone wants to go to 4th of July parties and picnics. And we can do that. But when you're there, be sure to make the case to other people. Because we've got to be in this until fall. We can do it. We serve a mighty God. I'm a Christian, and maybe you aren't a person of faith. That's okay. But I believe that God blessed this country from the beginning, and He is still there today. And I know I'm going to stay on my knees until November, because we do have one more chance. The Tea Party did it before. The Tea Party can do it again.
Absolutely. Michele, thank you so much for being on the call tonight, and thank you for all you're doing to fight for us on Capitol Hill. We appreciate it very, very much.
God bless you. We are all in this together. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you. God bless you.